There's a bluebird in my heart that wants to get out, but I'm too tough for him. I say, stay in there. I'm not going to let anybody see you. There's a bluebird in my heart that wants to get out, but I pour whiskey on him and inhale cigarette smoke, and the whores and the bartenders and the grocery clerks never know that he's in there. There's a bluebird in my heart that wants to get out, but I'm too tough for him. I say, stay down. Do you want to mess me up? You want to screw up the works? You want to blow my book sales in Europe? There's a bluebird in my heart that wants to get out, but I'm too clever. I only let him out at night sometimes when everybody's asleep. I say, I know that you're there, so don't be sad. Then I put him back, but he's singing a little in there. I haven't quite let him die, and we sleep together like that with our secret pact, and it's nice enough to make a man weep, but I don't weep. Do you?
Times have been tough. No doubt about it. Tough on all of us. But you know what? So be it.
I went back to Ohio, but my city was gone. There was no train station. There was no downtown. South Tower had disappeared. All my favorite places, my city had been pulled down, reduced to parking spaces. Hey, oh, where to go, Ohio?
The Workers Club. I love the name.
It's the Workers Club. Larry's drinking. What are you drinking, Larry?
Zero sugar cherry ginger ale. Like Canada Dry.
Well, that sounds good. How was that?
It's good. Very good.
It's Larry, it's Gus, it's Wilson. Do we have any housekeeping, anything at all? Any news, anybody we've been keeping up with?
God, I thought there was. Well, I mean, Al was kind of in the news. Not in the news, but he maybe got 4 more mentions on Twitter than he normally does during a week, because he did that Vince Russo podcast.
Yeah,
and called Bret Hart bitter.
That was recent, huh?
Yeah.
I guess I wasn't clued in that Al is so entwined with Russo and is often on his show. They're like he's like almost like a co-host at this point. You see a lot of Al Snow's takes on his show.
Al's greatest success probably came under Russo, right?
Oh yeah. And obviously it rubs off on his booking.
I wonder, I mean, yes. What did Vince Russo, has he spoken about what he thought about the head gimmick?
I'm sure he thought it was hilarious.
And that he's crazy and he's silly and he's goofy. It's funny. Well, we'll start with that. We're about to dive in the book. And for sure, when I read this Al Snow's book here, watching
I was going to say, just as a thought off of that, maybe I'll do it for my pick. Vince Russo's book.
You want to do it?
That's
your pick, or do you?
I'm just throwing it out there. It's.
I'm not saying I'm going to pick that, but that's definitely on the.
I I see Earl Hebner's written a book. What about that, Gus? You could pick. Your pick is next. You could do Earl Hebner's book.
I got a couple that I'm toying with. We'll see.
Well, I picked Al Snow, and now we're back in the muck. I gotta tell you. And yes, watching The Wrestlers has colored the. As I'm reading this, I know the man he's about to become. Not that far off from when he wrote this book, or Ross Owen Williams wrote this book with him. When did this get published?
Was it 2019? I think.
Wow. So
did I get it right?
Not that long ago. I'm trying to see here. Why can I not see this? Where's the date? Am I crazy? Why am I not finding the date? Maybe it's in the back. I don't know why it would be in the back. I'm going to grind this shit to a halt to be like, where the fuck is the date? I see who took the photo for the cover. Yes.
Yeah, there's really no there's no legal page.
Huh.
Right?
It's timeless. Let's see here.
There's no publishing page.
I'll find out. No, just kind of like here's the address that ECW.
I went to Google. It's 2019.
Okay. Well, how do you?
What I said 5 minutes ago.
So man, the Wrestlers is right around the corner for him. Really, he filmed that.
You know what? I wonder, if writing this book got him re-energized and was like, I can.
Does it end with him buying OVW or being part of the purchasing?
Do you think we'll get into a fight with Al by the time this is over?
I don't know. He seems so dour about most things, and just like I've never seen a man engage so much with his fingers folded in front of his, this thing. Whenever all the thumbnails with Vince Russo, it's just like in The Wrestlers, he's got his elbows on his desk, he's leaning forward. He's deep in thought with his takes. I was telling Gus that I think that we're doing God's work here because I was trying to find bad reviews for this thing, and there was like one, and it was just
there were no 1-star reviews.
Yeah, it was like, it's not Brett's book, but it's okay.
Yeah,
and I refuse to believe that this is. Every book we do, for the most part, everyone's just like, yeah, it's fine. It's a wrestling book. Where's the bar? Where's the? Well, everything's just fine. I guess maybe that is my big bugaboo. Maybe I'm talking myself out of it. Do you guys have any?
I don't know what the bar is. I would not recommend Gewurtz's book to anybody.
No, that was.
Probably not Larry Nelson's. We really didn't learn anything.
That was funny though. That guy was the way his voice came through on that, where he's just so sweaty and like anxiety ridden, is so funny. I don't know. This definitely spoilers. This first section that we read, it comes off. I hear Al's voice, but it's him just regurgitating like stream of consciousness to the guy, and the guy's just putting it down like.
I know. I don't want to be a kiss ass. I know this man has co-written a book with Ian, but there's some questionable things. I don't know if the life lessons were Al's idea.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't envy anyone having to work on an Al Snow book, but
no. And I also think Al, my wife, how many wrestlers have books? Oh, Al Snow has a book. And you would hope that you would get something out of it. Why does Al Snow have a book, Did they crunch the numbers? Enough people would buy it. Well, he's got 3 purchases now. And that was the other thing I'm looking for. When I'm reading an Al Snow book, I'm looking for why are we doing this? Give me something. Give me some substance. Give me some texture here. But I gotta say, spoilers. It's pretty cut and dry, pretty just bare bones. There's definitely no Brett like prose of just reminiscing, romanticizing about various things. It's just kind of like, and then this happened, and then here's the. No, nothing about his child. It does not. It starts with him.
I mean, thank God.
Yes. There's no growing up in Ohio. Right? That's where he's from, Ohio.
Yep.
Lima's native son. What's the lay of the land in Lima, Ohio?
I spent one weekend in Lima. I was actually just recounting this yesterday. It was my first job in the trades. I was still fucked up at the time. And we went to Lima, Ohio to work on this like bank reclaimed house that had 3 feet of standing water in the basement. We went to a meeting. It was mostly meth addicts. So yeah, it's
So
probably a town of about 30,000.
So bad water drainage and meth.
Yes.
Okay.
Nice. Well, should we dig into it? Should we get into Al?
Sure.
And should we alternate? Should we, after this, should we go back to the wrestler, or should we just try to find time? I don't know.
Alternate.
Alternate a little bit. I feel like with this book, we might need to get a little palate cleanser.
Yeah.
Let's see here. A forward by Steve Austin. That's a big get.
It is.
And it reads like Steve Austin kind of quickly jotted it down and was like, that's the most generic kind of like, he has no stories about, him and Al
probably
back
just
in the
sent
day.
him a video. That's
And
it.
they
I'm gonna
transcribed it?
guess. I don't see Steve
I'm
Austin
picturing
writing.
talking, into the phone.
Oh, right, yeah.
Poncho's on his shoulder, and he's
Just kind of put this. So when he was trying to get some ring rust off when he's heading to WWE, he writes WWE. I specifically asked for Al Snow. He believes Al is the best kept secret in wrestling. He had a school in Lima, Ohio. They knocked the ring rust off. He says Al seemed like a can't miss prospect, but he had some bad luck early. This is what he thinks is the bad luck. Al Snow and WWE could not find the right gimmick for him. That is bad luck. Now this is why I picked this book is when we were reading Mick's book, and he kind of dove into Vince just hating Al Snow, just could not stand the guy, and so for whatever reason, I was just like, I gotta dive in with this guy and with the wrestler. We're getting a full picture of this man. And then just Steve kind of peters out and just he's a professional wrestler. He's a professional. He's solid hand. And then he kind of goes, well, we don't really cross paths often, but, I consider him a good friend. He's got a great sense of humor, That's it. He's just he's an all-around good guy. That's how he leaves it. So we don't have footnotes throughout this book. There's a little picture of Al Snow flexing. And it says next to it, life lesson. And then it's like little blurbs, little life lessons from Al. So I don't know. I mean, there's a heck of a lot more of these than footnotes. I mean, Brian Gewirtz's footnotes.
Yeah. We just to paint a picture of this man. He's clearly found the anti-aging clinic in Louisville.
Yeah.
He's twice the size he was ever in his prime.
Oh yeah. So. Al is aging. He's living his best. Yeah, he's aging well, and he's living his best life now.
Out there on the grill at 1 a.m. with no lights with the wife.
Yeah. So I did send Larry a sound drop that I think would work. You pepper him whenever you want.
I'm gonna keep looking.
Okay, you don't like.
Didn't blow me away.
I think there
could be a more succinct one. Maybe just a noise he makes when he's perturbed.
Didn't I find it? Wasn't that it? Where he goes?
It was too long.
God, 6 seconds.
That's way too long.
6. Oh, come on.
We're gonna be hearing it every 3 minutes.
I'm gonna down. Here, I'm gonna send it. I'm gonna real quickly here. Hold on. I'm gonna send it to Gus, and he can be the judge. He can listen to it.
Get it down to a grunt.
Can't you just play it right now? You don't have to send it.
Can I play it right now?
Oh, sorry, I'm asking you to do too much.
It's a media file, yeah.
I can do it because you sent it to me on fucking Discord.
Yeah, can you play it on
So
the?
just share your screen.
Share Discord.
Oh
You
my
guys
God.
are asking way too much of me. Can you do that?
I got it.
Thank you, Larry.
All right.
Can you share Discord?
That's wild.
Maybe just the first. Oh my God, that's too long to play every time.
So
Right?
do it. I think you got to reloop it.
You didn't hear it?
No, I didn't hear it. Did you, Gus?
Oh, did
No.
I? Oh, I'm sorry. Hang on. I forgot.
Oh,
you gotta click the.
right person.
Oh, what the fuck does that mean?
Oh, looks like I'm sending it to Gus.
Oh my God. The sound of
Now I got it.
Oh my God.
I think you just cut it right at the God part.
Yeah,
That's fine.
yeah.
What does he do?
Yeah.
What does he do? What does he follow it up with? He does, oh my God.
Oh, good Lord.
I'm not in love with it though.
Oh, good Lord. Okay, maybe do the oh, good Lord.
I know.
Maybe-
There's something else we could find.
Yeah, I think it might be like a variety of
I'm gonna go back to an episode.
just exacerbated Al noises.
Yes, that's what I was trying to find. I get. Come on. Oh my God.
Like when
oh,
the
good
monitor
Lord.
goes out, he's got to be saying something stupid.
I think he says I can't see shit.
That
Or
would
he
be
goes,
good.
what does he say? He says, what does he says? It's the wires again. It's that goddamn wire again.
I mean, really, it could just be a different like Al frustration every time, and it'll just be money.
Mm.
That's a good
More
one.
work for the editor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
What about the one? What does he say when they're like working a match? He's like, "Oh, come on, guys, that's not
Slow
believable."
down.
Yeah, slow down.
Anyways, what's our first life
Here's-
lesson?
Life is nothing more than a series of events and experiences that give you enough information to tell a good story. Here's mine. This better be good.
Don't care.
Chapter 1. Chapter 1 is titled How to Make Sound Career Decisions. Okay. The Sheik terrified me. I grew up in Ohio. He wants to go to a wrestling show when he's young. At the last minute, I decided that I didn't want to go. He's friends with a young man named Victor Lewis, whose dad was a deputy sheriff who worked security at the arena. So Victor did go to the show. Al chickened out. And he says that a wrestler... I wrote, bad sign. Oh, I wrote, bad sign. It must just be because of the way all this was written. I was like, oh no. Yeah, Mickey Doyle. Yes, he's getting the minutia. Mickey Doyle had his arm ripped open and a ring post. He's just like breaking down like the Sheik's promotion. He saw Dusty Rhodes on TV. And he became a huge fan of Tony Atlas, Austin Idol, Mr. Wrestling 2. This is kind of Al also does this throughout the book, from what I've gathered, is that he likes to list wrestlers. We'll just start listing wrestlers. Ones he likes, ones that he just were there. A lot of wrestling names come fast and loose. He's all over the place. Let's see. He hates Ole Anderson, Buzz Sawyer. Is Steve Kerr not around at this point? Where's Steve?
Mid-70s. He's in Florida. He's still jobbing, though.
So he's not
It's
Georgia
not till like
yet.
77, 78 that he
Okay.
started that great Bob Roop angle that we had.
Yes. Yes. I remember telling my grandmother I was going to be a wrestler. She says, "Why do you want to do that? Don't you know it's all fake?" So there you go. Mark it down. We've got that in there. He says that wrestling was very popular. Guys would wear sweatpants with their names down the side like Junkyard Dog was doing in Mid-South.
Who was doing that in Ohio?
Well,
I raised an eyebrow.
Ohio got Georgia championship.
Oh, okay.
It could because we didn't have a territory.
But do you think guys were walking around and they were trying to mimic JYD?
I know
in
that
Ohio?
he was more of a Mid-South guy. So right, I don't even. No, I don't believe it.
Al says, I don't
Al,
remember.
we're immediately calling you out.
It's just he's looking at him and Victor, and they have the writing on their sweatpants, and they're like,
Yeah.
this thing's taking off. I don't remember any of these guys having thump on the ass like JYD, but then again, I don't remember looking. And I was like, oh boy, here we go, the Foley-esque.
Yep, immediately not gay.
I'm not gay, but I tend to end up in situations. Life lesson. I'm just going to start actually counting these. I want to see how many life lessons you get in this book. That's number 2. Okay. Unless he's a wrestler, it's probably not socially acceptable for a man to have writing on the ass of his pants. It's a life lesson.
Yeah.
These also are like, they aren't life lessons. They're just like a little
punchline.
Yeah. And it's just like, these could have just been sentences. But you get the Al Snow picture.
Now, do we think Brian read Al's book and is like, you know what? We've got a good idea here. We've got a good kernel. Let's flesh it out a bit.
So he finally gets to go to a show, and he's 16. The Fullers ran a show, the UAW Hall in Lima. Is it Lima or Lima?
Lima.
Have I been saying Lima? A Lima bean. Al Perez, Rick McCord are in action. But Al's in the audience. 16-year-old Al. I was watching from a different viewpoint than the rest of the audience. And I wrote, Mark. See, because he's going to be a wrestler, so he's studying. He's in the crowd. You know, he's rubbing his chin. He's looking. He's watching. He thinks it's real, though. He keeps kind of hitting that point. And he's just like, I really want to be a wrestler. That's the next couple of paragraphs, you know. He wants to get bigger. He wants to figure out a way to do it. And so the name of the chapter was, what was it? How to Make Sound Career Decisions, and end of chapter 1. Strike 1. Why did he call all these chapters have titles that aren't really, I think they're going for something where it's like supposed to be like is this a joke on a self-help book? Are we dumb?
Oh,
I guess
Life
so.
lessons.
Okay, so we're dumb. I mean, it's not that clever. But yeah.
But like, is it purely because the mannequin had helped me on his head that he wrote it self-help?
Yeah.
That's such a reach. Am I wrong?
no.
And then the life lessons thing where it's like, what is this? So whose idea was that? Is that Al's or is that Ross's, who is kind of like his side hustle or his main hustle is to be a consultant, a business guru of some kind, you know, whatever his bio is there.
Is it?
Yes, he does. He writes, let's see, his Recruit Mentor series of training guides.
Oh, no.
He's from the UK.
Oh, okay.
So he's we'll have to interview him.
UK wrestling fans, man. I don't know.
They're a breed. Say that.
Big Daddy's not a real athlete.
So
fucking what's his name? Who trains Al?
Jim Painter.
Jim
Did I get that right?
And what's his real Carpenter? or
Jim Lancaster.
Lancaster.
Jim Lancaster.
A better worker than Big Daddy any day. In that clip you shared.
Yes,
He's moving.
yes.
Al was right. He was
Yeah.
agile big man.
Yeah, but did he have the charisma of Big Daddy?
No, nobody has the charisma of Big Daddy.
Did he have an entire country behind him?
Does Big Daddy have a book?
Oh yeah. I'm sure there's multiple books on Big Daddy. Chapter 2, How to Get Your Foot in the Door. By my mid-teens, I was beyond certain that no matter what, I was going to be a wrestler. And I wrote, "We know," because he's just spent the last chapter talking about that. So he says his mom.
Yeah, I don't know. There's just. I'm sorry if I'm scooting you along.
No.
Let me grab it. He doesn't know how to get into the business, so he's looking in the magazines, right? He's trying to call.
No, you're right. Wilson's about to really crack into Al here.
Oh,
Let's
no,
see. Let's
okay.
really pour over him. His parents had pretty normal jobs. His mom worked in an office, and his dad worked at the grain mill. Al has 2 stepbrothers, Dave and Rod, a stepsister, Donna, and then a biological brother, Chris. I did right. Poor Chris got last billing, and he's the biological one. Then he had a half brother, Conley, who got into the business. I was 13 younger than him. Than he, 13 years younger than him. Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
Did we ever hear about Conley? He said Conley got in, and Conley said to Al, "I got in because of you." It's just fascinating me that Al has this large, what would you call it? Blended? Is that what it is when you got step siblings and what have you? Is that the Adam Sandler movie with Drew Barrymore where they have a bunch of kids from other marriages? So yes, as Larry said, does anybody think that Al had all these people around?
I don't know,
Multiple marriages?
That's Lima.
I know. I'm just later. It comes back later when he meets Pam. Spoilers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. See, we're gonna break into Al's mind. So yes, he's buying all the magazines.
Can we get Pam on the show?
Probably.
Pam Sarvin. Pamela Sarvin, Lima, Ohio. Go ahead.
He's calling all the offices. Mick kind of had a similar thing where he came up where he was just kind of like sending out letters, just trying to figure it out.
I fucking found her.
Did you really?
No. She's an attractive older lady.
Oh, I need to look at her.
Can we get her on the show?
Absolutely.
I didn't spell it correctly. Oh yeah, Lima, Ohio.
Yeah. Who would make that up?
Al's not going to be happy with us.
That's only wife number 1. He's on 3.
Well, I know, but
Look, if you don't want people talking to your trail of ex-wives, don't have a trail of ex-wives.
Oh, finally single, she says. Gus.
Resident single guy. Guess will be running a wrestling school soon. Out of Ohio.
It's in Liverpool.
No, he'd have to go. He's living with Pam, is he not?
Oh, he's going to live with Pam.
Yeah,
sure.
See? You got it. So they're annoyed. Everyone that he talks to is annoyed. He's calling Eddie Graham. He's calling Vern. He's calling Dono. He's calling Fritz. He called them all. I'd love to hear these conversations. Does he go into these conversations? No, he's just like I could never get anybody on the horn.
Life lesson.
This he says this went on for years. By the way, so I'm guessing he's what, 13, 14? He said he's 16. He starts his first wrestling match at 18, so let's Al 2 years. I wouldn't call that years, but life lesson number 3. Yeah, I always got to complicate things, huh? Failure is giving up without having exhausted every possibility to succeed.
Okay.
I might have to start doing, agree, disagree. So far, agreed. So he goes to, what does he get? He calls up Gene Anderson over at Crockett.
Yeah.
And Gene goes, yeah, we're having a tryout in Charlotte in October. Bring $250. So he does. He already figured. He wants to figure it out. Yes, my dear. Okay, your annual pipe popping in. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to find my place. Let's see.
These fucking carnies, man.
What's he talking about? What did Dick the Bruiser? His local promotion? Is that what he's trying to say? It was run by Dick the Bruiser.
No. While he was
in
thinking
Charlotte.
of going, Dick did a show there.
Okay. And he brought all his regulars along with him, including Bobo Brazil, Dr. Jerry Graham Jr. You know what I gotta say about Dr. Jerry Graham Jr.? Lose either the doctor or the junior. Now you can't have a DR period and then a JR period.
Yeah, I never really. I usually just hear Dr. Jerry Graham. I never really hear him.
There you go.
Yeah.
It was Vince's guy.
And Jim Lancaster. And then he goes on about Jim, big guy, 6'2", 375. He could move. It's just, these wrestlers, they have their mentor and they just adore. I think Steve's been the only one that was like, nah, he's all right. Yeah, I'm over it.
Everybody's looking for a daddy.
Yeah. So he got his card. Jim's card, and it had Jim Painter on there, not Jim Lancaster. Jim tells him to check to go to Al Costello. And then Al adds, without giving me any contact details, he just says, try Al Costello. And then he just hangs up. But he does say, I'm going to go to a tryout in Charlotte. Boy. Oh, boy. I hear it up. I hear. You hear my wife?
Yeah.
Oh, daughter, better look out. She's not listening. So I keep having to. Somebody keeps opening into the door, and somebody's getting after that person. So he tries to wash dishes for a bit. He's trying to get.
Well, hang
money.
on. Jim says when you go down to Charlotte, tell him Jim says hi.
Yes, and then he says, and then also call him when you get back from this tryout. Yes, yeah. Jim said hi. Okay. So then he's trying to get the money. He doesn't. He's like, washing dishes. Blah. What's he do? Doesn't he end up saying he sells his car?
Yep.
His 1968 Dodge Monaco for $500. So they show up. He says there's about 35 other guys. There's Ole and Gene are there, and they're like, "Give us the money." And so they also make everybody sign waivers,
NDAs.
Yeah. So then, the Andersons just start stretching people. They're also making them do 500, as this is according to Al, 500 free squats. They're running up and around the Coliseum there in Charlotte. What else are they doing? They're making one guy Al's carrying one guy on his back, piggyback style, running around. Then he does it to the other guy.
500 squats, 400 push-ups. I call bullshit on this.
Yeah.
There's no way.
They probably just were like, do push-ups, and then at some point they said, okay, now do squat. They weren't saying do it.
Oli
People are
ain't
dropping like
counting.
flies. No. And even if you did say, he said do 500, then he came back and said do 500, he's not going to. Doesn't matter to him. Al's got the stories that we've now read quite a few times of, they're in there, they're breaking guys' jaws for being smart, they're stretching guys and people getting brutalized. Victor's walking away, shaking his head. Says that poor Victor, his friend, Gene had legitimately choked him out on the rope while repeatedly cross-facing him.
Cool business, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Al says here that he lied about his age. He says he's 17, but he tells him that he's 18.
Yep.
And then he also says Jim Painter said hi.
And Oli goes, "Who cares?"
Yeah, just stared at me. Who cares?
That piece of shit.
And then Al thinks, well, he doesn't know Jim Painter. He only knows Jim Lancaster. I don't know if that was it, Al. So Oli looks at Al and says, "Down on all fours, Columbus." And Al thinks Columbus is the only place in Ohio he knew. He said, "I'm from Ohio." So yeah, he keeps calling him Columbus. Oli says things like, "How bad you want it, Columbus? Are you a pussy?" Nice. Then Gene's in there. And Gene is fish hooking. He's pulling hair. And Al's just now confused at this point because then Gene starts trying to grab his testicles. And so Al's not having this, so he grabs Gene's testicles. We were rolling around the ring trying to grab each other's nuts.
And Gene is how much older than Al at this point, too? Al's a boy.
Gene's rocking that comb over, you think?
Oh, absolutely.
And
smelling of like stale cigarettes and coffee.
Yeah. I love that Al has that thing. Who was doing? Was it Steve or Brett? He kind of goes in on guys' bodies, which is very funny because now but he keeps going on guys' body, and it's like, what did Gene look like? Describe Gene. What was Gene's body? Oli's body.
Not flattering.
No.
Well, that's what I mean. Where it's like he'll be like,
"Oh God, he looks like a tub of shit." I'm looking at him and Oli, probably from this era, and he looks like your grandfather had a few too many beers and took off his shirt.
Yeah, he kind of has like a serial killer kind of look about him. Gotta say, the guy with the dark, like after they find stuff in his basement.
And Oli looks like he's got the body. Like that's
yeah. Oli's like, I'm the handsome one. I'm the heartthrob. So finally, Oli just breaks it up. Well, Gene tries to stick his thumb in Al's eye, and he's screaming, "Do you want to lose it?" He's always like, "That's enough, laid him up." And Gene kicked Al in the ass. "Get the fuck out of the ring." So then Al Snow does the thing that he goes up to Gene and thanks him. "Thank you." And he goes, "Hey, do you want to keep training me?" And Gene laughs in his face. "No way, kid. Find something else to do." I don't know what Gene sounds like. I think he sounds dumb.
He's from Minnesota.
I don't know where the fuck Gene's from.
I don't care.
Yeah.
So he's traveling with Sandy Scott. Oh, yeah. He says that this is exactly why we are probably not going to like this book. And Ross, I'm sorry, but here we go. All of a sudden, he's talking about that there was one well-built African-American guy. And you're like, okay, this is going somewhere. And then, it's about how that the guy that they did like, not him, the guy they did like, he didn't last because later he was traveling with Sandy Scott, who worked in Crockett Promotions. And at that time, and he heard about that young African-American man, quote unquote, and said that he only lasted 3 sessions and then it stopped coming. That's it. This is the kind of stories we're dealing with right now. This is so, and then Al does a I would say quite the Mark move. He's looking at the rest of the money he's got left over after this trip, and he goes, "I'll go see the show." He likes wrestling. You can't fault him for that. He buys a ticket and watches Sergeant Slaughter and Don Kernodle. Right? Did I get that right?
Yeah, that's a hot feud.
Ricky Steamboat and Jay Youngblood. Roddy Piper lost part of his ear in a dog collar match against Greg Valentine. Look, I'm telling you, Al Snow has a habit of kayfabe big time. He does that thing where...
I mean, he's describing Starrcade.
Yeah, he is.
So it's not just a show.
He just happened to be at Starrcade.
The inaugural Starrcade just happened to be there.
What happened? What did it matter to Al? It's just a show. He just tried out earlier.
He just had his nose broken.
He was just molested by Gene Anderson.
He's got bite marks all over him.
Yeah, he says he looks the next morning. He's got bite marks on his back. Gene had been biting me, and he hadn't even realized it. So Gene is biting a man's back as he's grabbing his testicles.
No, hold on. A 16-year-old child.
Yes, a 17-year-old. Gene was on top of a 17-year-old young man.
Child. No, child. We're going to say child.
Grabbing his testicles and biting his back to prove that wrestling is real.
Hell of a business.
So he can't move. So Al's a fix because at his back home with the parents, his bathroom's upstairs. And I had to sleep on the couch for a couple of days and pee in a jug, and then drive to the gas station when I needed to take a dump.
Why?
Yeah,
because he can't get to the back. He can't move. He's so broken from that wrestling sesh that he's for a couple of days. That's his operating status.
Hey,
is
son,
sleeping on the couch. A man. What if he had a picture of Gina?
But they don't have a bathroom on the first floor.
Apparently
that's
not.
Weird.
He says,
but you've got enough energy to get in your car and drive to the gas station. Like,
that's what I was not understanding.
You're saying that Al, when he's trying to illustrate how tough and what his dues that he paid a little bit as he was learning, you're saying it doesn't sound good at all, and not in like a, oh yeah, man, you paid your dues. You're saying it sounds stupid that he's painting a picture of him shitting at the gas station. He drives to the gas station to shit, and he pisses in the jug. Where does he go to piss if there's no bathroom on the first floor? Is he just pissing in the living room, on the couch, into the jug? My dad couldn't fathom what I was thinking with all this wrestling stuff. I don't know if that's his problem. His son is pissing in the living room into a jug.
And going to the gas station to shit.
I got to go to the gas station. I got to shit again.
And crossing state lines for Gene Anderson to...
Dad, this old man bit me and grabbed my testicles. It's what I want to do.
No,
I paid $250.
Yeah.
You were briefly touching on it, and it's an overarching theme, but the universe was telling him to quit a lot of times, and he should have.
He likes it.
First the training, and then he's like, all the territories dried up, and there was nowhere for me to go. It's like, yeah, do something else. I mean,
didn't he say he was thinking about becoming an electrician or something like that, or he thought about going to a trade school?
He never even went to like the shitty territories that were still open, like the GWF, right? He could have gone to Dallas or any other shit Foley did. So he was working fucking Springfield, Ohio.
And this is, if we can point out, this is where Steve's book is better than Al's book. Steve, during this time at least, or through Ian, is talking about how he feels as he's going through with the learning of the wrestling. He's painting other pictures. They're tapping in little stories that kind of about his relationship with Mike. I mean, Al's just like, these are my family members, left to right. Here are their names. Okay, now I'm in Charlotte. I'm pissing. There's no personal opinion other than he's like, I just really want to be arrested. Why?
Yeah.
He just said, I saw Dusty Rhodes. He was a hero. Okay. Anything else? I don't think Al can be that. Can Al be that vulnerable? He's a tough shell. He's a man.
Look, being molested as a 17-year-old does some things to you.
Oh, wait. But Gene, just to be clear, Gene Anderson was not a known in pro wrestling, a quote unquote known homosexual.
I don't
just
think
a little
so.
backbiter. Okay. So he calls Jim back up and he goes, I'm back. And Jim's like, okay, let's. Jim says, if you can find a place, I'll train you. And also get some other guys, I think. I think he wants. So Al, what does he write here? He calls the athletic director at the school, and he tells it again. This is it. This is another example. He tells the story, which is a couple paragraphs or one large one of, okay, so the athletic director said, okay, then we went to the school. The doors are locked, and he's just going, doo, 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 doo. We opened another door. There was an alarm. There were cops. They had their guns pulled. They're screaming. It got figured. Look, eventually we managed to get it all sorted out. Cool. The police called Mr. Brown. The next day, then this is right here. This is exactly what we're talking about. The police called Mr. Brown, and once he said he knew who we were, everything was fine. The next day, I got a call from Mr. Brown, and it wasn't fine anymore.
Could have never had any of that. I know.
Don't even worry about it, or just say it wasn't fine. Why are we going into it was fine and then it wasn't fine? I was back to square one. Okay. Life lesson number, what is this now?
So are we.
Life lesson number 4. Mark it. If you want it bad enough, you'll find a way. If you don't want it bad enough, you'll find an excuse. This is where I wrote, stupid Yoda ass.
There's a guy who went to the rehab I went to, but he was a few years ahead of me, so he was doing group when I was going through there. And listen, to his credit, he was like a prison guy. He came in there and he became a runner. He just started running. And
right.
So now he's like a personal trainer. And he's got an inspirational story, but he makes his own memes with sayings that he writes. And it's this kind of shit every single day. But
Yoda stuff?
Awful stuff, though.
I was thinking about this, and I was like, I think I have a feeling of what all these life lessons are going to be like if they're not punchlines. And it's going to be like, if life was easy, it wouldn't be life. If life was hard, then it'd be easy. And it was like, oh, fucking hell.
That's exactly
it's just that kind of shit. You know, if you're not on time, you're out of time.
If you got time to lean, you got time to complete.
Yeah. So now he goes, I like that he writes here. I don't know if it's Ross. I'm sorry, I'm tagging Ross in some of this stuff. It's Ross or Al. Further investigation. Yes, he's investigating more possibilities to get trained. Led me to a local community center in an area that was primarily African American. This is such a weird way to say it. Like, this is the neighborhood I grew up and hung out in with my friends.
Yeah.
This is how he says it. Further investigation led me to a local community center in an area that was primarily African American. I knew the area well since Victor was African American. This is page 18, and he's bringing this up.
This is someone worrying too much how they're coming up. You could just say black, I think.
I spent most of my time in his neighborhood when I was growing up. What's the name of the neighborhood? What are we doing here? Why is this? Yeah, why are you under? Is there like a hot light on you right now? Are you nervous? That's where I got the name Snow, because everyone there called me Snowy, Snowman, Snowball. You get my parentheses snowdrift. Ugh. I did. I wrote it. I hate this.
So did the rapper Snow steal his name from Al Snow?
I don't know.
Because they're both. That's why they
Well,
have the
Snow
name.
is Canadian.
That's true.
When Al Snow saw the Mighty Ducks, and those kids are calling other kids, the black kids are calling the other kids cake eaters. Was Snow like, I know how that goes. I've been in that. Not a cake eater, but they did call me Snow. Snow. I bet of all the Snowy, Snowman, Snowball, not even Snow White. I mean, that's right there. Snowdrift. Okay, Jim. They got the community center locked down. Jim is making them exercise. But it's a fine exercise. He makes a point that it's not trying
He's
to
not
punish
being a
us.
psycho. Yeah,
He's not being a psycho. But the twist in this one is Jim is not smartening everybody up. He keeps talking to them as if everything is real.
this just makes me think they're all stupid.
It doesn't look good. I wrote Al comes off like a genuine rube.
Yeah.
Even though everyone knows wrestling is a work now, Al, you're writing this. What year is this, Gus? 2019. Now everyone, who's going to alert Al that, and not at any point in his entire career was anybody like, this shit is real?
I want to meet the person who picked up the Al Snow book, and that's where they learned that wrestling wasn't real.
Everyone? Not me. So, and he writes, here we go,
Ooh.
Al. You'd have thought I would have figured out by this point about wrestling being fake, but you'd be wrong.
He's going to a gas station to shit. So, I mean,
this is true. That's a true story. We did figure out, okay, so why is he pissing in the closet?
He might just be an idiot. Like, he just might be a dum-dum.
His parents are pleading with him, Al, there's a bathroom on the first floor. What kind of house doesn't have a bathroom on the first floor? You don't have to do this.
I'm going to blindly assume something here. I'm guessing hoarder house.
You think?
Oh, yeah.
Now, listen,
that's a lot of...
there are houses where everything's on the second floor. It's weird, but...
Could be.
I guess Al's in there.
I'll take Larry's word for it.
I don't know what's going on in the Sarvin household with all these half brothers and step brothers, and
that's why I'm saying hoarder situation. They're just collected on
little
the back.
Connolly, that's 13 years younger, running around,
Connolly,
staring at a 17-year-old Al Snow pissing into a jug
with bite marks from an elderly man.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let that go. I'm sorry.
No, Gene. Look at Gene and think about him just rolling around with Al, each holding their testicles. The others' testicles. And Al's 17, yes.
Yeah, it's fine. It's great. Yeah.
Ole's watching and he's annoyed because he's the one that's like, all right.
Al's name dropping,
Al's watching pro wrestling matches while he's training, and when it looks really fake, Al just goes, well, they faked that, but the guys in Atlanta, that's where they really fight down there.
I can't remember. I was broken into wrestling through a neighbor who was a little bit older than my parents. He must have smartened me up immediately because I was 7. And I'm pretty sure I knew from the beginning it was all fake and that Vince was the owner.
I think what people go through is I don't know if you think it's fake or real, but it does. When people are like, I really thought so-and-so was really hurting him. I don't know if I ever thought that watching it growing up, oh, this person's really actually in pain. But you get sucked in or whatever. You do go through, and you guys are probably the same, maybe, when you're a teenager where you're like, you get defensive about it and you're like, okay, it is fake, but that spot right there, that probably really hurt, and so it's.
Well, you know what? They're out there 300 days a year, and you know what? Michael Jordan, didn't have to work twice on Sundays, and
you're watching this.
They're real athletes.
You're watching the sacrifice video whenever it's on. You're just glued to it. That's right. Broken necks.
While Viscera is in the ring, you're going on about how they're athletes.
Yes.
Yes.
A man is wearing a giant hefty bag, and I'm pleading my case.
Yeah, Jim's teaching Al to keep our toes in line with our hips. So whenever we would turn, we don't cross our feet.
I remember. I mean, I just rewatched them last year. I think the Tough Enoughs, where Al's very big on how you get up from a bump.
Oh yeah,
Like, he's very into the minutia of these stupid fucking
things.
Kenny Omega would probably scoff at. You know what I mean? Like, just this old time.
Yeah.
This is the way it's always been done.
Yes, Kenny, slow down.
Because you don't want to hurt yourself when you go back to the mill on Monday that you work during. That's why we work the left side.
Al is so funny in that. I definitely ran through the could I take a 60-year-old Al? Yeah. And when I started I didn't at first. I was thinking before I read the book, I was like, I think he might get up on me. He might or start biting my back. But then reading this, where they were like, okay, this is how you square. Like, don't put your foot here. I see the guy Jim's grabbing his ankle and planting his foot and going, foot here, this foot here, okay? Step forward. All right. And I was like, I don't know, maybe. And then I watched some of his matches. Like, I don't know, maybe. I don't know. You think Al's a tough guy? Old tough guy? You think he can shoot now? He's got weight on him too.
He does put, I think it's season 1, he does put somebody into a shoot hold because he gets mad at them.
Oh, shit.
He get the squeeze on you.
It's a Stu Hart type of, it's the same move Stu Hart does.
I'm thinking, then I'm thinking,
well, 60. Hey, remember Al, I'm sure he'll get into it, helped Dan Severn train for the UFC.
Shit. All right.
He accompanied him to the ring, for those early super fights.
And this will couch all the eventual criticism we have of the book. Al Snow gives a fuck about his book. If he's Al Snow that we think he is, he's gonna be like, did I make any money on it? Who made the money on it? That's what Al wants to know. But ultimately, I don't think I could take Al. It'd be close. Boy, I'd like to get in there just to test my. I just want to test my metal.
He's probably got 140 pounds on you.
You. Look. Maybe
120. You said
maybe. Oh my God, Larry!
You said you were 5'6" and 120.
What the hell, Larry? Larry's doing this. Can you please discuss?
You said you were shorter than Sudi.
Oh, come on. Why would I be saying that? What would that do me to be that short?
Man, if you're 5'6", I gotta readjust my height.
Yeah, if I'm 5'6", Gus is 7'2". Is that how that would work?
I think so.
Or would you be shorter to be the ratio back down? I can't figure that out. Now you're asking me to do math?
I'm just...
Larry's having his little kick.
No, Al Snow would beat the shit out of you, though.
Oh, come on. Beat the shit? Come on.
Yeah, man. He'd get you in a hold. He'd grind some knuckles into your,
But what about how does he move these days? Is he moving like
that?
How
do you move these days?
How dare you?
You got a fucking hernia for one.
For one, I was walking around the shop today, and I was like, I am straight up walking around like an old man right now. I was underneath a press. Then I had to, hobble out. All right. You better believe Al is learning half speed. Jim keeps telling half speed, slow down. And this is just, this goes into your basic bitch 101 pro wrestling foundation is slow down, make it count. Make it look aggressive. Don't hurt me.
He's saying Jim almost makes it sound like working half speed is that is working. And Al just doesn't understand the code because when he goes in for his first match, he's like, "Can you do this match half speed?"
Yes, and he's still thinking slow.
Yeah.
No, I want to win.
I'm trying to win here.
So maybe Al is a little bit of a dummy if he's like, okay, so I'm slowly showing you guys how to do these holds, and Al's like, this is pro wrestling. Yes. Let's see. He talks about people making noises in the ring, not to blow yourself up, you know. And finally, yes, when he's still confused to the point that Jim's trying to like, what is he? Jim's like talking to him, and then he probably with a heavy sigh, he's like, "Holy shit!" This
It does so come off that way. Because it says for an hour they go back and forth.
For about an hour, we went back and forth, and I just wasn't getting it. Ow! What weren't you getting? What? Was he just going through matches in his head going, yeah, but what about when Dusty and he was bleeding from that K, you know, he got hit in the head. What about that? That was real. And Jim's like, no, that's not. He has to talk about blading. What? Eventually he broke down and smarted me up about how wrestling works. I was initially disappointed. You wanted it to be real? God. I'm glad he burst the bubble. I'm just glad too. I'm glad too.
Shouldn't there have been a responsible adult in this man's life to like?
No, I guess not. If your parents are letting you just hang out in the living room with with your cock in a jug, he's gonna listen to me like that's not how it went. I went to a closet. Come on. Chapter 3, How to Get on a Treadmill.
Let me grab a drink real quick.
Okay.
Just 2 minutes.
Dumb. Jesus Christ. Some people are so dumb you can hear them splashing around in their dumbness as their eyes look out of their heads. They have most of their parts. Hands, feet, ears, legs, elbows, intestines, fingernails, noses, and so forth. But there's nothing there yet. They're able to speak, form sentences. But what comes out of their mouths are the stalest concepts, the most warped beliefs. They are the repository of all the obvious stupidities they have stuffed themselves with, and it hurts me to look at them, to listen to them. I want to run and hide. I want to escape their engulfing nullity. There is no horror movie worse. No murder is unsolved, but the world goes on, and they go on dumbly slamming my guts to pieces.
While we took that little break, I was thinking about, do you think Al realizes how dumb he's painting himself, or is that just part of his charm? Like, this is...
I think he's just a dumb guy, yeah.
Oh, yeah, come on, we fucking see that. When he that booking he's doing, talking about store, he's an idiot.
Nobody's doing this but us and WWE.
Meanwhile, the mayor is, like, threatening to break people's legs.
Well, let's see, what's he talking about here? He's talking about, you can tell his now with Al and his new lease on life training regimen looking better than ever these days. As he writes this book, he talks about, weightlifting's on his mind. All these guys, many guys he brings up in this first section we read, where he'll be like, that guy had that weightlifting record. That guy had that weightlifting record. So he's talking about he's not paying attention to his legs. He wants to get bigger. He's paying attention to the wrong things. He did, it wasn't until many years later that he finally figured out this weightlifting thing. Yeah, cue the Triple H music. Here you go, Larry. I was doing sets of 15 good mornings. That's parentheses, forward leans with the bar on the back of the neck, parentheses, with 315 pounds, deadlifts with 600 pounds, dumbbell flies with 100 pounds without bending my elbows. I was moving a lot of weight but seeing no results. I wasn't doing any cardio. So then he talks about gear. And he goes, at the time, the wrestlers I liked were, here's a list: Austin Idol, Superstar Billy Graham, Jimmy Valiant. He goes to a husband and wife operation. This could be an interesting thing, describing how this worked with this couple and all this, but he's just like, yes, they made gear.
Yep.
The end. He gets a Tarzan singlet. And he also, I think, gets some baby blue tights because he likes Jimmy Valiant. He also adds that he dyed the white knee pads black because, believe it or not, and look, Al, I don't know what to believe. Black knee pads just weren't sold at that time. I believe you. I'll take your word. Don't lie to me, Al. Life lesson number 6, 5, something like that. Let's call it 5. Often clothes make or unmake the man. Agree, disagree.
Wonderful.
The clothes make the man, because he's talking about tights, gear, you see. Okay. So anyways, he's always, he you know that neighborhood that he was just like, I was snowy there. I don't talk about whatever.
Where the African Americans lived.
Yes, the African American community. Okay.
The bad side of Lima.
Yes. He always knew when they started calling him Snow. He always knew Al Snow would be his name. Let's see. He talks about, he kind of gets the rundown from Jim when he starts kind of showing up at shows of how to handle yourself. Yeah. And, if you don't have, let's see, if you don't invite you, you go and you go, hi, I'm so-and-so. If they don't invite you to the back, don't stand around and look desperate. That was known as whoring yourself out. Okay. We got a life lesson number 6. Working hard is good. Working smart is better. Working hard and smart is the best. God. Al's first match, Springfield, Ohio, May 22nd, 1982. He is now 18, and Gene has lost interest. He's in the locker room. He sees guys that he'd seen on TV. Guys like Austin Idol, Rick McCord, Moondog Spot, Al Perez, Randy Rose. And they're just sitting there chatting.
Wow, just like real human beings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then the guy says to him, the guy that booked the show says, sorry, we don't have a spot for you, never mind. And a man called Big Pickle, because of his green outfit. There's a few of these that Al says, this guy's name was this. And I'm like, just say who it really was. Come on. And it always has to do with their outfit a little bit, kind of like this guy had curly hair, and his wrestling name was Curls. So Big Pickle, because his green outfit. And hey, maybe he's a territory guy I've never heard of. Big Pickle. He lets him have let the kid take my spot. I'm Big Pickle. There's Big Daddy, and then there's Big Pickle. Life lesson number 7. Always accept the offer of a pickle, unless pickle is being used as a euphemism. Euphemism? I said that right?
Euphemism.
You got it.
Yeah.
Euphemism. Euphemism. Then it's more of a judgment call. we're gonna get a lot of this, I think, in this book where Al's like, I love to grab a pepper. Not that kind of pepper. I'm talking about
Well,
a
remember,
slice of
him
pepperoni
and
pizza.
Foley are the ones who had that contest on who could insult each other the best via ass fucking, like, in their
Yes.
jokes.
I wonder how much Ross had to edit Al down, because that book, McFoley's book, was written when that stuff was very prevalent. Al's talking to Ross and dropping, like, he's like looking, he's like, you know what I mean? And Ross is like, I don't know if I can put that in. I can't do another, you know what I mean thing. So they're in the old gymnasium, and it was packed. I love that Al throws in definitely 1,000 people, maybe 1,500 people.
Not
In
accurate.
an old gymnasium, Al. All I had to do was chop meat. Term for throwing forearms and kicks, and that's about it. He talks about his man. Anybody have anything about this stuff where he's just he's doing the move by move.
Yeah, nothing. I don't.
He's in a battle royal.
I'm actually surprised he gets $25.
Yeah, he does.
I mean,
He
that's
says that was pretty wild.
75 now.
Yeah.
No, but nothing until.
Well, Jim asks him how he's like working with him on how to talk to people about getting paid for this. And he goes, how much money would you do for a job? And Al says, I'd do anything just so I have enough to eat. Don't you ever say that again. You got to set your price. Which then he throws out a story about Dick the Bruiser, where he works for Dick the Bruiser, and the house was not great, and so he only gets paid $10. And he goes to Dick, he complains, and Dick the Bruiser says, "What do you want me to do? Give you the money out of my own pocket?" Which I would be like, yeah, because that's where you put the rest of the money from the show, so it's in there. Yeah, that's exactly where I want you to dig in. But then he goes, but Al is got that, he's kind of memed a little bit for the, Al, you set a match. What is the line? Only good matches are the ones that draw money. So is that to say you've never had a good match in your life?
Yes.
Yes. This is that kind of where we first see it, where he goes, Dick the Bruiser was right. I hadn't been a factor in getting people into the building, so why did I deserve more? And I was like, well, I guess that's why wrestling shows only have that one match.
Yeah.
People just show up to see the one match, and that's it. Then they leave. There's no other reason to have other matches.
That's
right.
why you've got to fill out that sheet of paper when you go through the turnstile saying, "I am."
Why are you here? Yeah, who are you here to see? Could you imagine if wrestling shows were just the main event? People showed up for the 15, 20 minutes and then they left. There you go. That was the match. That's what I came here to see. There was a time that he got paid in beer and turkey giblets. That was a bad day at the office. I really was. At that point, I'm picturing Al's in his office and talking to Ross over the phone or whatever, and I can hear his gravelly. Yeah. That was a bad day at the office. His voice is so blown out from having to scream, what does everybody want? Head? I love this. This is like a random swipe. This is all part of paying your dues, which had nothing to do with setting up a ring, as most of today's wrestlers seem to think. Easy? Is this a shot at NXT?
He does that again where I note it, but I didn't note that one.
Or is this because somebody was like, he was making somebody else set up a ring at some point, and they were like, you set up the ring. He's like, I can't. I was never shown what's different back then. Dare Al Snow to install a ring, set up a ring. He's in the Chase in St. Louis, Missouri. Let's see.
Actually, I think that happens in see, Sorry
It
to
is.
sound like
Tough
a
enough.
know-it-all. Season 2 or 3, when they're in Iceland, they set up a ring outside and then it breaks, and Al has to show him how to fix it.
So Al knows. He knows. Or at least he's watched people do it. He can be
Al
like,
probably
"Turn that."
drove the ring truck until 1994.
It's true.
He's got all that experience pissing in jugs, so he's the guy you want behind the wheel.
He's the MacGyver. He knows what's up. He'll piss in a jug. Was it just like the milk jug? What was it? An empty jug that around the house to like feed the plants?
Yeah, what kind of
doing?
jug are we talking about here?
So I went MacGyver because I was thinking of him like, I can get this. I can set up anything. I can do anything. I used to piss in jugs and dump at the gas station. Pat O'Connor shows up. Wasn't Pat O'Connor showed up in Steve's book? I feel like he did.
I don't remember Pat O'Connor.
Oh, we did get another list here. Sorry, I found myself in a locker room that included Crusher Blackwell, Ken Patera, Bulldog Bob Brown, Mike George, and Kerry Von Erich.
So
he's working with Kerry.
Clearly, the footage exists because I'm watching on Twitter the introductions for this match.
Oh, wow.
Kerry Snow.
Yeah.
And he does. He takes a moment to, and I wrote at the bottom of the page because I was looking through Al Snow's cage match, trying to line up matches with what he's talking about. Ric Flair is on these shows, but he doesn't bring up Ric Flair. Isn't that weird?
It's like he's rubbing like elbows with like some pretty like big people pretty quickly. Like, why? Yeah, where are these stories? How did you get here?
But he's like, I'm looking across. I see Crusher Blackwell. Yeah, who's next to him? It's Ric Flair. Like, why is Ric Flair not getting shouted at?
I'm sure Ric Flair probably called. I'm sure Rick probably has had words about Al at some point. So
you think it might be something like that? Because Mick Foley, they were Mick.
Oh, you're just
Rick,
Mick's bitch boy. Like,
I mean, okay, come on, Ric Flair. He's not. Somebody says, "Oh, my name's Al Snow." Come on, Ric Flair's gonna be like, "No, Snow." He won't like that. He's not partaking with that. Let's see. Then Al has one of these Al Snow comments. He's talking about Kerry Von Erich. I don't necessarily think Vince dropped the ball with him. It was just a different place. He was in a different place at that time. He was a great guy and a skilled wrestler. All right. Al has thoughts on talents and what you could and could not do with them. So then he's at a show, and the guys do a prank that I have to really figure out what was really going on. The way Al presents it is he's standing backstage. They brought a girl, and when he was about to go through the curtain, she laid a big kiss on me.
This is weird.
Big smoocherino, and that made Al hard. This is another Al. Now, this is now becoming a trend in this book where Al has a story
hang on.
where you're like,
Sorry.
Yeah.
You don't even want to know I was distracted. Did you talk about the Al Snow Pizza Hut?
no, I did not.
Because it wasn't Pizza Hut.
Yes, he says that Von Erich did Pizza Hut ads.
Oh, is it Pizza Palace?
it was like some local, Dallas.
Okay.
Or Texas.
I'm the one that slows us down. Okay.
Those are important details.
Pizza Palace. So, can we get back to Al getting smooched backstage, giving him an instant hard-on? Very virile, Al.
Go ahead.
This is another Al Snow story again, where it's like, are we sure that is this supposed to be funny? Is this supposed to be charming? Right now, Al, to me, I'm just a guy who's painted himself as a dummy guy walking around with a boner because a girl gave him a little smooch. He's pissing in jugs. Gene's assaulting him. It's not a good. I don't know. Am I low? Like, what does Al think when as this book is coming together? How he's getting painted?
That's the picture is getting painted.
So Pat O'Connor sees that he's got a big old boner, and apparently backstage he's going, Jesus Christ, what the fuck? He's got a goddamn boner. Life lesson number 8. Pitching a tent is fine when you're in the woods camping, but not so good when you're being filmed in spandex.
Okay.
2019.
What's his match? His match is against Hercules Hernandez. And he goes into this thing about how you should be, and it's lost. This is a lost art.
This is the time when I noted it. Yeah, when he's like, yeah, no one does this now.
People give bumps to other wrestlers. You should be controlling your bump. He understood that it wasn't his job to bump me. It was my job to bump for him. So you're in control of your bumps.
Are you telling me he never took a spine buster?
No, apparently not. I do like, though, then he writes, even though Herc took care of me that night, I did still end up getting hurt on the finish. And I'm like, well, then it doesn't really fucking matter, does it? He gave me a neck breaker and our heads collided. And this is the first Al Snow, I have a concussion story. And he doesn't know anything about him. The guys fuck with him and go, don't fall asleep. So he stays awake for as best he can for 3 days. Again, this is Al. This is yet another Al is dumb. And he even writes, I could have asked my dad, but what would he know? He's like, I'm dumb. He said he would run. See, now this is where it's like, I don't know. Do we believe these stories? And if Al is telling these stories, it's like, brother, these aren't funny. I'm concerned about your mental health, and not like you're crazy. Like you can't feed yourself or remember to breathe. He said he would drift off, and then he would wake up and he would run to the bathroom and see if blood was coming out of my nose and ears because he thought if my brain is swelling, there's going to be blood and it's going to come out everywhere. And so he's like, those were just miserable 3 days of, that because the guys pulled a prank that said I couldn't sleep. I wrote fun, and then I wrote, I guess the treadmill is symbolic. Because remember, this chapter is called How to Get on a Treadmill. So he's getting on the treadmill, I guess, of his career. He's starting to run, I guess. I don't know. Ross, you've bested me. Chapter 4, How to Learn Your Trade. He's out working for George Cannon in Detroit at Cobo Hall.
Ah, yes, Cobo Hall.
He's working with Rick Bolton.
I think it was pretty dead by then. The Detroit territory?
Oh, yeah, by then. Yeah, that's nothing's going on over there.
Al has a story of the, an old man tried to attack me with a straight razor in the crowd.
Come on.
Not too long after his debut, what?
How does Al Snow have that much heat in 1984?
He does. People are like trying to ping beer cans off his head. Could just be the way he looked, with his mouth hanging open and flies going in and out of it. That's how he's presenting himself. Not too long after my debut, we went to Drayton, Ohio.
How do you? What's going on? That's not a city.
Yeah, sure. There's Dayton, and then there's Drayton. I can't believe you don't know about Drayton. How long you worked there?
They've already said Dayton, Ohio, in the book.
Yeah,
correctly.
This is down a ways. This is like out like a suburb of Dayton.
Okay,
Drayton. Ross, we got you. Edit the book. Ian does. To work for an old. It's been out since 2019. Come on. Steve Atkiss, who wrestled under a full bodysuit and mask as the convict. And he's watching him, and he realizes why he has severe psoriasis.
Come on, these stories are so dumb.
Skin was almost purple. There were sores all over his body. Hey, remember when I said the thing about the big pickle? This guy would be called the big eggplant. Look, folks, are you ready for a life lesson? Wait, was that a life lesson, or was that just a good little joke by Al? Can you imagine Ross on the other end of the phone when he's like, Big Pickle would be like big eggplant, and it's just
Remember, I said something about Big Pickle. This is Big Eggplant.
Oi, that's pretty good, mate.
Well, there goes that interview.
No. Yeah, that's I can do something with that.
Hello, Governor.
Hello,
Go to
hello.
Parliament and get my fish and chips.
Hello. I
Got him.
What about life lessons? But life lesson number 9: if you won't stand up for yourself, why the hell should anyone else? Larry's shaking his head. He disagrees.
I'm just picturing the elf with the Avatar mask, and I'm like, this is a man that stands up for himself. This is Leif Cassidy.
Yes.
This is a man that stands up for himself.
No, Al's just happy to be. He might be the original happy to be there. That was for a while there before AW. That was a pandemic in the wrestling world. Was guys that just were happy to have that WWE contract, no matter how low they were on the card. Similar. Okay, so he's wrestling Scott Irwin under a hood as the Super Destroyer. And he's learning about receipts. He's not sure why these guys are pummeling him for real. He's kind of has this kind of like, I don't know what was going on, but eventually Jim had to explain receipts to me, I think. Was that what it was? Is it Jim that swings back around to be like, he talks about Roger Kirby, who could leg press 1,500 pounds. And he would just, sit on him, I guess, put a knee on him, make sure he didn't move around. I wrote at this point, no one cares. Most of the veterans were legitimate badasses, the shooters. You know how I feel about all that. Al Snow is getting a knee pressed down on him, and he's like, bested me.
2 points.
Yeah. The locker room was full of Al hits me with my double whammy of pet peeves. All these guys are tough guys, and then the locker room's full of eclectic, eccentric, and intelligent people. Oh, we're pirates, we're gypsies. If they hadn't been in the wrestling business, they probably would have been in jail.
Some of them were both.
They couldn't function in regular society. Grown.
Hawk.
And then of all people, he goes, the first time I met Ken Patera, I saw him across the locker room with glasses on, reading. Jim leaned in and whispered, if you didn't know better, you'd think he was a bank guy. And I was like, why are these guys so wowed by glasses? They really do the things like, dumb guy?
I know.
Oh, glasses are coming on. Who's this guy? Who's this guy? He's smart. Or is it just that he's reading? You know what Ken Patera can't read? The McDonald's operating hours. Hello. That's a little reference to Steve's book. But he's like, yeah, Ken Patera, that's a smart guy. Is he?
Hey, what was the Steve joke? They'll stay open for me.
Yeah.
Man, I miss Steve. Steve was fun.
And then he throws out a Ken threw me. I was still in control of the bump. I was like, all right, settle down. He did. He kind of thought about Larry talking about spine busters. Yeah. I got thrown around. I'm still in control. So he's in a handicap match with Brody in Minnesota. And he does the Brett thing. He kind of does this thing where he goes, here's my recollection of the match, and it's much more dramatic than the actual footage.
Yeah, I don't see his buddy's nose get broken.
No, the camera's even behind the guy. And it's just like a slow, lazy bump off the ring.
Yeah.
Here's how he presents it. Victor stumbled into the ring. Didn't happen. He's kind of like leaning over the top rope.
Like
They're
in between the
"Tag me."
ropes. Yeah.
Yeah. Brody raised his leg up with ease and kicked straight out into Victor's face with his heel. Victor staggered back into the ropes, clearly stunned. It's called selling. He should have bumped. This I was like, okay, maybe this is why he does get another boot. Like, get off the ring.
Yeah.
Is because he just kind of does stand there like, whoa, what a kick.
Well,
Brody wants him to drop.
You know, it is weird though, because the announcers say you have to pin both at the same time.
That's weird. Because he
during
doesn't,
the match,
right?
and then like 30 seconds later, he only pins Al, and they don't mention it.
Yeah. Who's booking that, Vince? So he says, Al says he should have sold, so he gets kicked again. He's semi-conscious, didn't have a clue what was going on. It's like, all right, so then he's like, what is he? Victor's nose explodes as he shoots out of the ring across the cement floor. It's like, just like, or as Al calls it, melting. He just melts.
I mean, he's on a basketball floor that would surely show the blood.
Yes.
If there was any.
He gets pinned. And, we forgot that he wrestles Harley Race, and he's just absolutely wowed that when Harley wrestles him, he's like, oh my God, he punched me, but he didn't punch me. I guess he's been so severely stiffed by everybody leading up to Harley. But Bruiser gives him the office, quote unquote, where he's squeezing Al's hand, giving him a little squeeze. Thank you for doing me the favor of putting me over. Yeah. So he's back with George Cannon in Detroit. He remembers working with Bobo Brazil because he would sell his Coco butt, a jumping headbutt, by flipping backwards over the top rope, and Bobo likes that. He does add then we'd go home, parentheses, finish the match. Thanks, Al. Let's see. So then they're in the locker room. He sees Sailor White, who was known as Moondog King. They're drinking. Bobo, Brazil, and King are drinking vodka and getting completely hammered. Al Snow has a tag partner called Concrete Ass. Which again, this is like, okay, Al, this is your nickname.
Yeah.
Because he was trying to pick him up was like attempting to shift a ton of bricks. Shouldn't it be Brick Ass then?
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, though.
To get on you, Al, but you called him Concrete Ass. And he doesn't want to get in there. He wrestles them. It's so tough. He doesn't like wrestling people that have been drinking. He goes up against. He works a bunch of. This is what his story is, that one night he worked 3 times, and it was not fun. He's going up against Greg. Do I even try to do this?
No.
Wojciechowski?
Sure.
Who worked as the great Wojo.
He worked all the greats.
He's hanging out with Little Lumberjack. This reeks of he just doesn't remember the guy's name. Little Lumberjack. It's a midget with a red and black flannel jacket.
Oh boy, we have a midget.
Yeah. They're trying to get him to run out there. Like the locker room's just empty out, I guess, and like fight the one guy that's swinging like a staff around. Life lesson number, boy, what are we at here? 10? Wow, we're at 10 already. That's crazy. So many life lessons. Life lesson number 10. Learn when not to get involved in the business of others, especially when it involves a drunken seaman with a huge stick.
2019.
Sailor White is talking about there. All right. The midget gets into the ring. It's just that him, I don't know, this is seared into his brain, this Sailor story where the guy is like hitting people.
I know, who cares?
And again, at this point now with Alan's history of telling these stories, I'm like, so this was just a work. But you're presenting it as real,
Yeah.
It was things like this that killed Victor's passion for wrestling. He was talking about, there was like, Cannon runs out, and he's like trying to stop it, but he's like trying to keep his pants up. It's stupid. And so just, Victor joins the army. Victor's not into it. And look, I'm just going to be honest here. We watched the match there, the Bruiser match. Victor was never going to make it. What did Victor... Oh, and why does he never give Victor just call... Victor went by this. What was it? Coco...
you know who I picture Victor is?
Coco Lewis? Was that his name?
Remember Ben Peller?
Yeah, that's his friend.
Yeah, it's his friend.
Man.
What a book.
Al, do you know that you are living the life of a fictional wrestler? What do you think about
Michael
that, Al?
or Shawn Michael?
Yes. Okay, now I'm picturing Al Snow staring at a painting, but it's like that's not happening. What is this? Is the sun rising or setting? Whoa.
What was his gimmick again?
Which one? The friend?
No,
Was this the
Pellers.
psycho dentist? Pellers was the wild man.
Okay.
So kind of like Al Snow. He had to act crazy.
Okay.
It was things like this that kill. Okay. Those first years offered me so many great learning experiences through working with people like Kurt Hennig, the Fabulous Ones, Jim Brunzell, Greg Gagne, Otto Wands, Nick Bockwinkel. All right. I even worked the Sheik. He's forming a tag team with Mickey Doyle, and he's like, remember Mickey Doyle, who got his arm ripped open earlier when you were bored? Well, guess what? We're a tag team, Motor City Hitmen. He was living his dream.
So he worked Kern.
He did. I'm sure if he's working the Fabulous Ones, it was one of those, as Steve would say, one of those tag teams thrown together just to eat up. Chapter 5. Do you think Steve ribbed Al Snow?
Absolutely.
He seems like a guy.
Dave is taking a shit in the middle of the locker room, maintaining direct eye contact.
Like pretty blank in the eyes there, Al. I don't think you're going to pick up what Steve's putting down. Chapter 5, How to Survive on the Road. Something else happened early in my career. Meeting the woman who would go on to become my first wife. Man, what if he put in there like first out of 5? We'll get to them all. I don't know. She was 6. This is wild. This is like, tell me about this. Come on, Mick's going into detail about his various weird, this woman thought I was cactus. She had a kid. It's weird.
Damn kids are buying fountain sodas.
He goes,
I'm living with that paraplegic woman.
Yes.
And her family.
Yes, the family, yes. She was 6 years older than me and had 2 daughters from a previous marriage. And I was like, so this Al's looking for his family. He wants to, you got kids, I'll get kids. There'll be step siblings, half. We can get some halves in there too, maybe.
He's got experience. He's from a blended family.
He must still be close because Crystal and Amber, he says, hey, Crystal and Amber. Pam was never truly comfortable with me being a wrestler. And he does the old, she wanted a normal husband. Ozzy and here, you can't have that in wrestling. These guys are so mad about guys that don't wrestle now on that kind of schedule. They get so worked up about it. How are you gonna learn? You gotta do it. You gotta work all those dates. You can't have a normal life.
Both could be true.
You do look.
Yeah. There's sometimes there's a happy medium.
What's happened is the injuries have skyrocketed because nobody wrestles fairly frequently enough to quote unquote build the body callus.
You could work every weekend.
You could. Nobody wants to. Nobody wants to. So that's I guess the takeaway is that injuries are higher, but then these guys aren't like miserable, and the Pam relationships stick around more.
The what relationships?
The Pam, the Pam-like relationships. A wrestler now, if he wrote a book, can't be like, I was never home. He's like, I was always home. I was like gone one day or two. I'm always home. I was streaming on Twitch. Everyone has a healthy relationship. Al's just mowing through wives because he's got to be out there with Al Perez or whatever the fuck.
Here we go.
Whatever his fucking
And
name.
Al Perez catching strays.
Jim's about to teach him about staying awake in the car. They're driving along. Al's startled awake.
Again, Al. I'm sorry, but Al's just a fucking idiot. I forgot about this story until you.
Yeah. Jim's like, we hit a guy. It was a hit and run. And I was like, holy shit. And then Jim says, don't you dare tell anyone or I'll kill you. And then guys are walking up down and be like, hey, what's going on? And he goes, nothing. Then later Jim's like, okay, it was all rib. Just don't fall asleep.
For 3 days.
Okay.
Gotta go to the bathroom. Here's a jug.
So, life lesson number 11. Falling asleep around other wrestlers is rarely a good idea, especially if you value your sanity, possessions, or eyebrows.
He doesn't use the Oxford comma.
Well, hey, he's a
Got him.
product of the Drayton school system.
That's a fun lesson. Don't fall asleep around your coworkers. They'll get you. Is that a life lesson? Seems like
That's normal.
in life. Don't fall asleep around.
You wouldn't
people.
shave somebody's head if they fell asleep next to you. It's just
Yeah,
funny.
you got me.
On an airplane.
Yeah.
Or poison their drink.
Anytime you see anybody vulnerable, anytime anybody is in a position of vulnerability, you gotta fuck with them.
Especially in a job that requires a lot of
You're
travel
driving
and-
town to town, not doing much of anything, wrestling Al
How
Perez.
the boys keep their sanity.
Yeah. This is a crazy life. We're fake fighting. I'm controlling my bomb.
They're nomads, though.
Yes.
They all live in Florida for some reason.
That's so that you can go
Boom
fishing.
stick and you go out on the.
If Steve wasn't able to do those naked dives, what do they call that? Skin. I don't know. I was going to say skinning. No, that's not true. So now you got to learn how to eat cheap. He's on the road. You
Slim
think,
Jims.
hey, just in case you were thinking about White Castle, that always gave Al diarrhea. Okay.
That's important.
How about that for a life lesson? White Castle will give you diarrhea. Al Snow.
Do you not have White Castles where you're from?
No, they're not. No, they only sell the frozen ones,
Okay.
in the stores.
They had about in Chicago.
Have I had it? Yes.
That is the reputation.
Yeah, of
They're
course.
giving
That's
me
why.
diarrhea. I like them when I've had them, but not a lot gives me a diarrhea. Maybe I've just got a better bowel system.
Unless it's bread.
Yeah,
Well, then I don't know what's going to happen then.
got him.
Now I was going to say, if you ask my wife if I have diarrhea.
No, I mean, come on. Al does sound like a fucking...
Well, now Al's doing not a
Special
this is not-
person.
don't say this is a dumb guy thing.
Cooking
He's starting
food
to cook,
on the engine?
he's starting to cook food inside his car.
That's what I'm saying. The world's telling him to stop.
And he tries to explain it as like microwaves weren't common. Okay. He has all these weird explanations like, well, the other option would have been don't. He's like, you don't
Come on,
get it.
Peanut.
I don't have a microwave. Like, he called it the car BQ, folks. Hello, the car BQ.
It's the man grade.
Here we go. There was a period of time where Al Snow was doing trial and error to see what else I could heat up on the engine. And I wrote, Al, anything. You can literally, if you wrap it properly, you could put any food inside your car. What's the trial and error? You put a loose hot dog and it rolls out. He's like,
Oh no, it happened again.
Can't do hot dogs. Steak stayed on there. Canned meat was touch and go. The ham and the beef weren't great. Chicken was pretty good. Spam was easy too, and it definitely tasted better warm. Oh, wow, we were right. Vienna sausages were a bad idea. Oh, they exploded, and the mess stuck to the inside of the hood. What's he doing? What's
Can you
happening?
imagine him taking his car in and it's like there's just like half exploded sausage, like
Who wants to ride with Al? You mean
What
the
does
guy
that smell
the
like
guy
on
that
the
tried to cook
highway?
hot dogs in his car and it exploded? Al's slack jawed staring at you, being like, "You want some spam? Cooked in my car." For weeks
with a
after
raging
that,
boner because he's thinking about that time he kissed a
you
girl.
got a big smooch. I mean, so what? I mean,
Throbbing heart.
what's going on? Who's the girl? How does that even work?
Right,
Was she rummaging in his singlet? Just say them. She was working my joint over in the singlet.
I
Big
think Al has
smooch.
made us dumber. Al has made us dumber. This is what is happening.
For weeks after that, every time I trimmed the heater on, it smelled terrible. I wrote riveting. He told a story about foods he could cook in his car. So then he meets Johnny K9. And Bo, you better believe he's noted that Johnny K9 had some kind of weightlifting.
I think that's completely bullshit.
Yes.
I've never heard of that. They did a whole dark side about him.
And was Al Snow on that? Because he should have been, because he's got the facts. He could have written Johnny K9's wiki. He worked as Bruiser Bedlam at Smoky Mountain. In the Midwest as Terrace Bulba. 5'9", but big and thick. He's like, yeah, he would bully people. I thought he was a great guy. I started noticing this too. Whenever Al encounters a problematic person or a bully, he's like, pretty cool. Bruiser's in convenience stores, or grocery store or whatever. He's just grabbing food and eating it. He's making sandwiches. He's
You want me
drinking
to
things.
toss it on the engine there for you?
The guy, yeah, you don't want to eat that cold. Bruiser would, and the guy goes, "Hey, what are you doing? You got paid for that." He'd say, "Don't worry, Johnny says it's all right," and walk out. He'd steal clothes. Al thinks this guy's cool. He's stealing clothes. He's walking around in sandals and flip flops and Zubaz, and doesn't wear a shirt. His party trick was to make Bobo smoke a cigarette. How did this guy sound? What was he? He was Australian. What was he?
No, Canadian.
Canadian. Yeah. Want to see Bobo do a trick? With something you'd hear a lot. And that's where Johnny K9 puts a cigarette in his dick. I love and Bobo's his dick, and he would squeeze the head of his dick to open the hole, stick the cigarette in there, and squeeze it to make Bobo smoke. Next sentence. Years later, he was jailed for conspiracy to commit murder.
Could you imagine like telling your like close family member, loved one, like, "Hey, I'm finally writing a book. Like, it's gonna be published, and
yeah,
and this is your life."
Years later, they had to remove Johnny K9's penis because it got cancer from all that smoking. Bad for it. Not good.
That and the microplastics.
Let's see. And then we get a nice little seg. Another wrestler I encountered who wasn't shy about sticking things below deck was John Richmond, wrestling as Mad Max. and Al's doing this. He hears jangling in the locker room, and Mad Max, his ball sack has a bunch of piercings in it, and Al asks him why he did that, and Mad Max says, "It's cool, man."
He really is just a he's a
Now
sharp
let's
one.
file this in as Al dumb.
Yep.
Why did you do that?
Years later, into his race, he's a wrestler now. Sin Bodhi, I don't know why he didn't say, who also wrestled as Kazarni in WWE. Introduced me to a guy out in Vegas he knew from the carnival circuit. They asked if I wanted to learn a super secret carny handshake, which of course I did, which that's also a strike against Al. That's that's the lure.
Al's a guy, he would fall for a joy buzzer handshake. Like,
Hey, you want to learn a carny handshake? Do I?
please show me.
They take him into a bathroom stall and tell him to close his eyes. And this is again, now I'm kind of realizing as we're going through it more than I did when I was by myself. Al has a lot of story. If these are true, they make him look like shit. If they're fake, why is he doing this? Why is he putting this in the book? He's in a bathroom stall with some carnival workers, and they're saying, "Close your eyes."
So we can show you.
I mean, is this funny? I don't know if it's funny. He just paints this guy as a dope. He opens his eyes. He looks down. He was shaking Sin Bodhi's hand, but his arm was through a hole in the other guy's testicles, like those loops. He says that you stretch when you stretch your earlobes. I was literally up to my elbow in balls.
I don't know how that would work.
Yeah, I don't either.
I guess he's just stretching his ball sack to the point that it's so loose that he's just was the guy holding it around or pinching it around.
Oh, so no, he says it's around the absence of...
stuck a gauge into his nutsack.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Testicles.
But the nutsack is 3-dimensional, whereas an earlobe is only 2-dimensional.
Yes. You got to punch through every single spherical.
Ugh.
It's like when you put something through like a balloon and it doesn't pop if you just do it, the one hole.
This is upsetting.
Life lesson number 12.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. I mean, this is Al's idea of humor, another tough enough thing. We really should have watched that because it informs so much about Al. He likes to play the circle game.
Oh,
where you try to get someone to look. Yeah. It was a whole episode.
Now I'm questioning myself because I think I got one of the guys recently with that.
If I remember correctly, Al photocopied a picture of himself doing it and left them places, and that's how he got people.
Smart.
So he's a river.
No, he's well, I think there's a whole section. We'll get to it. He's working with Sam DeCiro, who also owned the promotion Windy City Wrestling.
Did you do the life lesson?
Yeah. Oh, life lesson number 12. No good can come of 4 grown men squeezing into a Las Vegas bathroom stall for a secret handshake or any other reason. I don't know if they're consenting adults and they want to. So they want Sam wants Al and Mickey Doyle to stretch one of the guys on his show who'd been hitting on his female wrestlers. Well, we got talking to the kid backstage and we found out he was a nice guy. So we decided to do the opposite of what Sam wanted. There you go. Heard you're giving the broads a hard time. They were overreacting. I was like, yeah, that guy seems all right. Mickey Doyle was a great guy with a moral compass who taught me a lot about wrestling and life. Another major influence on me was Al Costello, a fabulous kangaroo. Yeah. And Al's very proud that he was a fabulous kangaroo. He starts complaining about, yes, WWE is beginning to swallow up the territories. Now, the wrestling quality is going down because they're trying to fill up the card. People, they're trying to survive. There were still, he goes, there still had a lot of high quality wrestlers, people like Austin Idol and Buzz Sawyer, but they never became major names.
Man, he's so high on Austin Idol.
Dude, that's like maybe his fourth reference to Austin.
I mean, he was a Hogan influence.
You know,
I that's what people say. I won't even pretend to have fucking watched them, but
whenever someone who couldn't work came in to the promotion, Jim would hum circus music under his breath. I was like, all right, let's not go crazy out with the judgmental, you guys are working with, you're hanging out with Kazarni, putting your hand through some balls, and he's like, oh, boy,
You want to see a secret carnival handshake?
look
Here,
at
come
this
this
guy.
dog,
Look at
close
this
your
guy.
eyes.
The circus is in town. Look at this guy. He probably can't even control his own bump. So you got the Masked Marvel and the Masked Maniac tag team. He knows that the Marvel is Jim Whitmer, who came from Cleveland.
all right, this is his tape, right?
Yes. Whenever
watches,
they want to cheer themselves up, him and Jim watch a VHS tape of a bad wrestling show. And the main event is this long involved story, move by move, of two guys dressed as Batman and Robin that look like shit wrestling the two fat guys. And then he ends it with, years later, I found out that Robin died a tragic death. And he just kind of leaves it with, apparently they buried Robin in his outfit and just couldn't understand why other wrestling luminaries like Buddy Rogers, Ric Flair, and Hulk Hogan weren't there at the funeral to see their fallen brother. And I was like, is Al just like a miserable prick? Like, what?
Why?
Because this whole story is basically just ripping on the two fat guys. He's ripping on the Batman and Robin.
well-
and then he's like, yeah, I heard the Robin guy died, and they buried him in his stupid Robin outfit. No one, Hulk Hogan didn't come to your funeral to see what a mark you made on the business? Idiot dead guy.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess he
Like, I just grousing behind his desk.
Yeah.
Can I ask something morbid?
Yeah.
Do you think Al Snow will even get a in memoriam graphic when he goes?
Oh, Lord. I think he will. He's
His
known.
best chance would be right now.
Exactly.
And it'll
the more
dwindle.
time passes.
Yes, that's.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's dark, but
I mean, listen, wrestlers certainly didn't hurt the Raw negotiations.
Look, Al laid the table.
I
All Paul
forgot
had to
that he
do
was
come
tweeting
in.
that. Yes. Yes, that's why they're on Netflix. You know that show's okay. So now, if they're on Netflix, that means that wrestler show is not. That was a one and done.
Oh yeah, that's
They're
not coming back.
That's not. Remember that this chapter was called "How to Survive the Road." I guess the takeaway would be make food in your car, in your car, like under the hood. And that was it. That's all I read. The first five chapters. The next chapter is called Chapter 6: How to Fight for Questionable Fun and Varying Levels of Profit. Larry Sharp. It looks like
We're in Bellefontaine. That's exciting. That's a nice little town.
Lord.
Is it?
It is. It's a lovely little southern town.
So next week we're doing the next two episodes of the Wrestlers, or I forget what it's called.
Sure.
Well, what do you guys think? Al Snow, that was fun. That's what a fun guy. Not miserable at all.
How I have the
Not
Kindle.
embittered.
Oh, we're like a fifth of the way through the book. Okay, I was just wondering how long the book was.
Nobody can hear me play that, but I just pulled the "Oh Good Lord." If you could just drop an "Oh Good Lord" until we end it. Oh my God! I swear, if you just drop "Oh my God, oh good Lord" throughout the episode, dude. Oh my God! Oh good Lord!
Oh, good Lord.
I think that's after a show that it went well.
Yeah. What, 17 pies?
Oh, I did want to give Larry, we thought that watch along that over 3 pieces was going to be a nightmare. It wasn't. Turned out very well. Good job, Larry.
I don't even know what happened.
We were losing connection. It was
when you had started to resume the movie, and then it froze, and then I started it, and it didn't. I don't know. I still feel like
and I started recording for a length of time that we don't
lost.
know. Yeah. I think it all came apart. Came out. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else? No emails. Rate, review, and subscribe. Do we say that?
Sure. Theworkersclub.org and theworkersclubshow@gmail.com.
Yeah. That's it. Look at that. We ended it. Look, 2 hours almost on the dot. We're keeping it clipped in.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
I went back to Ohio, but my pretty countryside had been paved down the middle by a government that had no pride. The farms of Ohio had been replaced by shopping malls, and music filled the air from Seneca to Cuyahoga Falls. Said, hey, oh, where to go, Ohio?